This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
I'm Will.
I'm John, Gamester81.
And if you guys did not watch the Wednesday episode where we interviewed him and learned all about him, you need to go do that now and then come back to this video later. But if you've already done that and you're one of our loyal subscribers, then here we are with a treat of a video. We're going to be talking about knockoff consoles.
First, what do we have in the background, Chris?
The game developed by CollectiveVision. Is it CollectiveVision? Is there anything after the word CollectiveVision? I'm sorry.
CollectiveVision Games. Yeah.
CollectiveVision Games. Okay.
Yeah.
And John's a part of that team that made this game, and it's a very cool game. So I'd like to shout that out. Go check it out if you haven't heard of it before. The Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Mayan on Steam, Switch, Xbox One, and PS4.
Yeah. So Switch and Steam right now, currently, and then it'll be probably second quarter this year. We'll be releasing for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, and all the other platforms.
All of the random names that Microsoft chooses to name their consoles.
I love the Xbox consoles, but the name, whoever comes with the names to these systems, like, oh my god, terrible. Yeah. Like Xbox One, like, oh my god, terrible. It's as bad as like the Wii U.
Hey, I love the Wii U. Nobody talks bad about the Wii U. No.
Yeah, I love the console, but that
yeah, the name's terrible.
All right. So if you guys didn't watch the other segments, go check them out. But today is Friday. It's the Friendly Friday, and so we have a prompt we're going to be discussing with our new friend John at the bottom here. Do we ever think that there will be knockoff consoles for the modern consoles we have now? So like a knockoff for the Xbox One or the PS4 or the Switch or even the Wii U. Will we ever see some other company create a version of it that is, you know, for lack of better terms, a knockoff version of those consoles?
Are you meaning like how we have like the million different Genesis systems that really aren't Genesis? Okay.
I think we will. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
I think we will. I think, from my knowledge, I think it takes there's a 25-year patent on a lot of the stuff. So I think, honestly, I think very soon we're going to start seeing N64, clones, right? Clone consoles. And I just think, although I think it's going to also the emulation scene has really improved quite a bit in the last years, and it's always evolving. So I think we'll start seeing more single onboard computers like a Raspberry Pi, situations like that. I think that's where most people will go play the retro games in the future.
No, or something like the Polymega, right?
Say again?
Or something like the Polymega, right? Where it's got...
Yeah, the Polymega's cool. Yeah, I mean, but even that's emulation, right? Because it downloads the ROM and it emulates that ROM or that game. But I like the Polymega in the sense that you can, you play with real carts and controller, and that's cool. But there's like on my channel, I cover a lot of, it's called the Odroid. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's the Raspberry Pi on steroids, essentially. And you can play anything from Dreamcast at 60 frames per second. Like you can play even like GameCube now is starting to get really good with emulation. So you can start playing all these games all in one single area.
This is what you're talking about, right?
That's the handheld version of it. Yeah, that's the Go.
Okay.
But yeah, there's actually like a single board computer that looks like a Raspberry Pi, but it's a bit more advanced.
See if we can find it real quick. You see real quick. This is it right here?
If you go down, see
this one? Almost looks like an N64.
Yeah. No, this is the Odroid Model 1. Yeah. That's one sample of it. Yeah. So there's now the N2 Plus. Okay. But that's cool because the screen in front, like when you're playing your game, it'll show what picture image of the game you're actually playing, which is cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I guess my real question is, so you saw the clone consoles, and you've got a ton of clone consoles from the NES, SNES, Genesis era. As far as that goes, I think that era of gaming is pretty much, I mean, because you got forward-thinking people where you got backwards compatibility with new consoles, right? So the Xbox Series X plays Xbox One games. So there's not a lot of money in making a knockoff Xbox One at this point. Would you agree?
Right now, I don't think there would be. I think they'd get sued.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I said that kind of weird, didn't I? I meant like, I guess maybe 20 years in the future when all these machines are broken down. Unless Xbox continues to keep the backwards compatibility features, I think there's going to be less and less likely for people to do that.
Yeah, that's true. I think as we get, and I'm a physical guy. I prefer obviously games physical release and stuff, but I think we're still getting like more into people playing online and cloud gaming, and I just don't like when people 20 years down the road like, here's my gaming collection. Are they going to show like a hard drive and say this is my this is what I've got, this is my hard drive? And like you guys brought up a point earlier when we're recording, like you're kind of renting those games, right? Or you don't have any ownership of those games either, technically. So
in the future, they're just gonna pop out their eyeball and then give it to you, and then you get to see all the games they're playing.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's hard to say. In 20 years, it'll be hard to say if we're going to see like an Xbox clone. I feel like we would have already seen an original Xbox clone by now. If that was the case.
I think the backwards compatibility program kills a lot of the incentive to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
True.
And I mean, now we have the Series X. That's all we really need because you can play every other game. Like not just Xbox, but Dreamcast and all the other ones too.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, you can. You can open. It's all open source. Yeah.
You talking about the dev mode? Will, I'm sorry. On the new Xbox Series consoles, or no? I might have missed what you said.
I think that's what you're referring to, right? The dev mode. You can play as other games.
Yeah. Yes.
You can emulate.
You guys all froze on my end too. So.
Oh. Well, I know that John at the bottom here did a video on dev mode and how to activate it and how to use it. And that was very helpful for me because I'm thinking about picking up an Xbox Series X or S at some point in time. And that's pretty awesome.
It's
I
pretty
didn't realize
easy.
the freaking Xbox One has a dev mode. I had no idea.
It can't do nearly as much as the Series S and X, though.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not as powerful.
Good, though.
Like you might be able to do PS2 on a Series X, I would think, but probably not on the OG Xbox One.
We have a PS5 dev, and I'm not really supposed to talk about it as far as what it looks like, but I can tell you it looks really awesome, and the design is phenomenal. And I wish Sony would have stuck with this design for their retail market because it's much cooler looking than the retail version of the. Maybe you can Google and find it. I don't know, but
yeah, we've seen a picture of it on Spawnwave's channel before. I think
it's super cool.
It almost looks like it could be a spaceship.
It's big. It's huge.
This thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping they would actually release this, and then you could just dock the Xbox.
Actually, that looks different than what we have.
Huh.
Ours is like twice the size of that. And it actually has like an X. It's like a 5. It's really cool. It's got like looks like a 5. You got the Roman numeral X.
Oh, look up the original Xbox design.
Original? Oh yeah, that thing. It's straight up an X.
Yeah.
I want this in my house, in my living room.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be phenomenal.
Oh, I wish they had released that too. Oh man,
thing's so cool looking though. Yeah.
I also
want Xbox's like color, like chrome. That's awesome.
I want the boomerang controller from the PS3 just for no reason other than to have it. You know what I'm talking about? The PS3 boomerang controller. That thing was.
Yeah.
Maybe
when we version of it, yeah.
Maybe when we get the PS3 knockoffs, that would be a console worth making a knockoff version of a PS. If you could find a way to make a PS3 that had all of the, everything that the original one had, that would be worthwhile, and I would pay good money for that, especially if they designed it to last.
I love the PS3. It's a great console. Great.
Yeah, that boomerang controller though. Can you imagine if they had actually released this thing?
I can tell you that was the reason I didn't get it, because I didn't realize they switched back to the DualShock.
They didn't actually
saw this in a promo.
Yeah. That was a promo. Yeah, the promo, right? Yeah.
It's like a concept car version of the PS3.
Like outer space.
I saw an article on it, and all I saw was this, and I was like, "That's the dumbest controller ever. I'm not going to buy that."
But you know how much it's probably worth right now if someone had a hand on that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I guess to answer the question, we're all throwing our arms up in the air, and we don't know if there's going to be knockoff modern consoles in the future, but it's possible. It's possible.
If you only had a time machine, dang it.
Yeah, right.
Go in the future.
I mean, when would you say, as far as knockoff consoles for SNES and stuff, when would you say they really started popping up in your mind? Like when you started seeing them online and for sale and whatnot?
For Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Probably 2012, 2011, like 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
So it'd be around the time they hit that patent time frame where they really couldn't.
Well, I know like Hyperkin is working on like an N64 one right now.
Yeah, they got that special one. I think they have something with Nintendo to do that, don't they?
Yeah, I think the patent runs out or something happened. Yeah, I mean, it's funny looking back on the N64. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of the system back in the day. I was more of a PlayStation 1 kind of guy. But there are so many good games for the N64. And there's so many good gems. I love that system now.
Yeah, there it is. The Hyperkin Ultra Retron is the N64 remake.
Yeah. So I think because they can get away with it now because the patent's expired.
I'm curious to see what Analog does then, since Analog's done those really great FPGA versions of consoles.
Right.
That'd be pretty slick if they could get the N64 version out. You know what? Yeah. I think we this proves it. There's gonna be clone consoles in the future.
The next one will be GameCube, right?
Yeah.
CDs.
Most likely.
Yeah.
We just gotta wait till the patents run out. Then we'll start seeing them.
Right.
All right.
It's gonna freeze myself.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a clone Game Boy yet, though, to be honest.
Well, Analog Pocket.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And that had massive appeal. It sold out in minutes.
Yeah. Are they even selling those anymore or no?
It's not out yet. It comes out in May.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to get one of those. I haven't ordered it. Is it too late to order it?
If you want to get in on the pre-order, yes. If you want to get one after it comes out, I have no idea what their supply and demand looks like.
Right.
But yeah. This is interesting. Will's about to look this thing up to go buy one because he's a huge N64 fan like I am. So.
I am.
I like
well, it's one of those things like I really, really want this, but I also don't necessarily want to go through and buy all the games again. It's tough. That's why I'm such a proponent of I want an N64 Mini because I want all the games just out of the box. But
I'd be surprised if they don't do one N64 Mini.
That will be a day one. Like I will order that before they can even pre-order that.
I mean, they would have to include GoldenEye in it, although with the copyrights, I'm not sure who owns up MGM and how that would work. Maybe they put Perfect Dark in there instead. But it's interesting because Rare is actually owned by Microsoft now, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be very surprised if they did include any of the Rare N64 games, which would Banjo-Kazooie, Conkers. All the great N64 games probably wouldn't see the N64 Mini, unfortunately.
Well, but DK64 would make it because if you look, the Wii U eShop still has it.
Okay, but Diddy Kong Racing wouldn't, right? Because that's rare.
Yeah, I love.
I mean, they did allow the DS version to come to the DS after the acquisition occurred, because Microsoft decided that the portables division was not competing with Microsoft's Xbox.
Yeah, they are playing nice now, so it's possible. Because like Banjo and Kazooie are in Smash and stuff, so maybe
that's true. Yeah, there's hope.
I would say the real stickler on the GoldenEye situation is either Activision or EA owns half the rights to it. It's like Microsoft and Rare own some of it, Nintendo owns some of it, and like EA or Activision, one of those bigger companies, has the other half of that. So it's like you have to get like 3 major companies to agree to have that game ever be produced. The GoldenEye.
Which game? Oh, GoldenEye, yeah.
It's like tied up between 3 different companies.
Right.
I've pretty much given up on that one, even though that was probably the game I played the most in that system. I'm giving up on it.
Do you remember when I think it was EA that redid the win for the Wii, the remake for the Wii? Like it was GoldenEye, but it was a different game, but it wasn't nearly as good.
That game also came to the PlayStation Move, by the way.
Oh, did it?
I'm pretty positive I almost bought a game set for that because it came with 2 Move controllers, the version of GoldenEye for the PS3, I think, and it came with the gun. So it's like, wow. And it was like a closeout sale because nobody wanted it.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it was anyways. Anything else you guys want to say about this?
I think we killed it.
All right. Well, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
John, Gamester81.
And we will see you
on next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.
Subscribe to Gamester81.